All right. Hi, everybody. Welcome back to the 14th. I remembered this time, the 14th episode of the Gaifus for Laifus podcast.
You got the number right, but you
I-
messed up the name.
Yeah, I know.
You can see it happen.
Balance is all things. Welcome back, everybody. Yes, we here reluctantly joining me today is Gunnar and Raul. Sadly, the affirmative action hire of our group, Chris, is not able to be here with us today as he has.
You said the affirmative action.
For the record, yeah, I'm gonna put on record that Chris is of Caucasian nature, and we are brown men of the southern country in the South. So
it does make sense to have a white guy in the group, you know.
Yeah.
Oh, we gotta get
PR
an
reasons.
Asian. We gotta get a black man. We gotta get
Yeah, we're gonna build a. What was it? Who was it? It was like someone was like, "I want to adopt a baby from every continent." Like that's how.
I don't know where that's from. I didn't like how Raul said we gotta get an Asian. Like that's a little sus.
Why? They're Asian.
We're just gonna get canceled. There we go. Yeah, we'll just say crazy shit and see what sticks.
It works for Ben Shapiro and shit. So
It also helps that it's a face that you want to punch. So
that's true.
We're not a politics podcast, thankfully.
That's true. Not yet, unless the
I don't know
money's
what we are.
We're in the anime politics, which in and of itself is more dangerous, I think, than actual politics.
Get canceled.
You get some. I mean, even looking at just like you said, I don't think cancel culture is that big of a thing. I think the whole concept of cancel culture has kind of been blown out of proportion. But really the idea behind it's right. Just people, like celebrities and people of stature and power taking responsibility for their actions. But I feel like it can get flipped where you get some people what I'm thinking of is with the Captain Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
Oh yeah.
And the Dollar Tree Captain America. What was his name again?
America. John Walker.
Yeah, John Walker. We talked about this before, but he got and he's just playing a role, but he got a lot of hate mail and some death threats for that shit.
Fandoms are just bad. I mean, go see one of our other episodes if you.
Go back to episode 3.
I was like 3 or 4. Yeah.
And we can hear our thoughts about cancel culture and anime.
Exactly. And you remember, you always hear it here first. Gaifus for Laifus.
Yeah. So today, for those of you who are just joining or who are listening for the first time, we as a podcast, as a unit, as a team, was it clear mind, sound heart, can't lose, decided to go see to risk it all and go see the Demon Slayer Mugen Train movie yesterday.
Yeah, and also just to mention, everyone on the Gaifus for Laifus team, and including our significant others, and we're all fully vaccinated. But we did went in social distance and everything. That actually, I was surprised the theater wasn't packed.
Yeah,
we went in. I think it's because we went. Yeah, I think it's because we went. I think week 1 was way more crazy. Week 2's kind of died down, but there was probably 2 or 3 other groups in there, but the theater was pretty empty.
Yeah, just be responsible, wear your mask, wash your hands.
Exactly.
So leading up to this, I figured the way we'll organize this episode for those of you who are listening in now is we are going to talk about some reactions that we have seen from people, especially a lot of people who have been hating Demon Slayer and the movie in and of itself. I thought we would do a little react to that, and then we will give our opinion on the movie, and then kind of what we think will happen later in the series.
Yeah, and I would like to mention at this point, we will be getting into spoiler territory.
Oh yeah,
we're going to be talking about things. So if you want to go ahead and watch the movie for yourself, which I believe, speaking for all the Gaifus right now, I highly recommend everybody should go see Mugen Train for yourself. So if you want to skip ahead, there'll be a timestamp in the description. You can skip ahead, but for probably the next 20 minutes or so, we're going to be going in the major spoiler territory for the movie, the Mugen Train movie. So just forewarn, let's get into it.
Okay, sorry, I had a burp really fast. All right.
You see, I gave that such an impassioned speech. You know, it moved something in him.
Oh, moved my bowels. So yeah, so we came out of the movie, and I remember we all just kind of looked at each other, and like, you ever like, I imagine how people when they first saw like John Wick, right? Like when you see a good action movie, and you're like, man, that was dope. And so I had mentioned to them, to Raul and Gunnar, that there's a Facebook group that I'm a part of, and a lot of people were like, it's not that good. You know, it could be better. It honestly doesn't represent like this and that. A lot of complaints were about like the plot in and of itself. It felt like, but yeah. So they wanted to hear some of them. So I did a deep dive using the power of the internet, and here are some of the reactions. So
before we get into the reaction, should we do a little synopsis of what the movie was?
I can do that if you guys want. I don't know. I mean, I know Raul can't because he's for reasons that we'll talk about later. But
there's if you guys saw the Instagram post, we kind of touched on it. But
did you really?
Raul,
I didn't even see that.
Oh, I didn't say anything about it on
that.
There's a comment. Raul is in the timeout corner though.
For multiple reasons.
So basically, at the end of the first season, if you have watched it, the three main characters, I forget their names. I just had a brain fart.
Okay.
Inosuke, Tanjiro, and Zenitsu. They had gotten a mission to being told to go to this train where people had being eaten by demons, and to assist the Flame Hashira, which is like the elite. If you aren't familiar with it, who's like the elite of like their demon killing army, and to aid him is Ryosuke, and to help him find who's killing people and put him to justice. Demon Slayer, if you don't know what, it's a lot like Supernatural. Like that kind of premise of like there's a monster of the week kind of thing. So they fight the first demon. You find out some things along the way, and then basically they confront two demons, and it turns into this big fight. That's kind of like a really bad synopsis, but I feel like that's just the general kind of idea you just have to go into.
Yeah. So going in, you fight the demon we saw on top of the train. And you find out that his ability is to go into dreams. Yeah, so he puts people to sleep, and then he can make magic sleep rope, and he can have people invade those dreams to kill you. You kill your subconscious, take you out.
Yeah, and then you become like a shell, and like he can eat you because demons want humans to become more powerful.
Yeah, and it was really cool to see everyone's little like dream world. Yeah. Tanjiro was a very heartfelt. We got to see his family again, and for Inosuke, he went spelunking, and
that was an odd bird.
It wasn't, you know what though, but I was like, what else could they do for him? You know what I mean? So it was, and then what's spiky hair or yellow hair?
Zenitsu
was romancing Nezuko, as we all can, makes sense. So then we go into that. What? I mean, like, what else is he gonna do? That's what he's here for. That's
really his character thing.
He is the Brock of Demon Slayer,
I like that. That's a good comparison.
Thank you. I mean, I feel like it's accurate.
Brock was just out there to crush.
Dude, well, Brock gets a girlfriend. He's got a girlfriend right now.
Yeah, he does. See, Pokemon was well timed. We'll do a Pokemon then and now episode later.
I like that. But yeah, so we get to see in the dream. Oh, and then also on the train we have the big what's his name? Fire guy? Hashira.
Ryosuke.
Rengoku.
Was it Rengoku?
Rengoku? Yeah.
Rengoku. I'm sorry. We're so bad at this. This is embarrassing. Yeah. We just saw this movie.
You all know who we're talking about. Fire guy. He got sword. His hair's orange. He's hard to make.
He's on like every poster.
Exactly. So we meet Rengoku. Really, he's kind of your typical high energy guy. He reminds me a lot about like Asta. High energy, is a happy person, but kind of is just like Like you tell he's strong, but he plays like he has this like, oh, I'm kind of like a
I got shit. I got trauma, but I'm
yeah, I'm gonna play it like I happy, not a care in the world kind of vibe. So we meet them, we go. Everyone does their dreams, and the demon dude's about to go eat them. Well, then Tanjiro breaks out of his dream. He's the first one to figure out then to how to break out of his dream. So he breaks out, goes fights the demon. The demon's name is Mugen, right? That's why it's called the Mugen Train, or no?
No, they're headed to Mugen. It's a
They're headed to Mugen. Thank you. So I don't think. Do we know the demon's name then? I know they've mentioned it. I feel like they did.
Usually the demons, you don't really know their names.
Just numbers. I guess.
Yeah. Well, he is lower. He was lower rank 1.
Yeah. Okay. So for clarification, because that's super confusing. I hate the way they do that. So basically, in the war between demons and humans, the humans have the demon slaying core, which is why the show is called Demon Slayer, and they have pillars. So each pillar represents like an element, kind of like Avatar, and each of these pillars are called Hashira, and they're like the elite. So kind of like if you watch Naruto, like they're like the Kakashi, like the people who lead the teams. If you like watch Black Clover, they're like the captains, the Magic Knight captains, things like that. And so that's how, and then everyone else just kind of falls under that like soldier umbrella. For the demons, there's the main guy, Kibuzan. I forget the second part.
Kind of looks like Michael Jackson.
Yeah, the Michael Jackson memes. Yeah. And so he has 12 generals, and so the top 6 are called the upper half, and they're like like infinitely much stronger than the lower half. So they had the top 6 are called the upper half, and then the lower 6, but the bottom 6 are a lot less powerful, and they are called the lower half. And so the way you tell what they are is actually their eyes, instead of pupils, their eyes are the kanji of the number that they are. So that's how you identify them. If you look at their eye, it's written in Japanese like 1, like upper 1. So that means he's the number 1 guy. If it's lower 1, that means that he's 6.
Yeah.
Technically,
so he's the top of low rank, but then and then you got a whole other ballpark.
And the demon we're talking about, for clarification, the name is Enmu.
Okay, Enmu is. And then the big thing too is that usually the demons.
So Tanjiro is able to break out of the dream.
No. Yeah. No, go ahead.
So he's able to break out. Oh, sorry, my bad. Break out the dream. I'm sorry, I think we had a little lag, and it just caught me up because he started speaking really fast. You know how that does over that technical. But they start fighting on top of the train, sick as fuck. And Tanjiro keeps breaking out of his sleep spell. And then Tanjiro is about to be on the run. Then Inosuke comes. He breaks out of his dream through the help of Nezuko. Nezuko is able to, and that's also a big reason why Tanjiro is able to break out. Nezuko wakes up, uses her demon fire to burn the ropes, and that helps sever the connection, weakening the spell. So then Inosuke and Tanjiro are on top of the train fighting the lower ranked 1 demon, and then come to find out they've killed. Tanjiro finishes him off, but then you find out that his body is not his body. That this demon has now fused together and has become the train. Which, that was a good plot twist. I didn't see that coming.
Yeah, that made it interesting, because then you have to figure out like, okay, well now we have to beat this bigger thing. And then it was cool because then, so if I can piggyback off of you, Gunner, basically at that point it becomes like a protect mission, because the guy's like, oh, I'll just eat all the humans, and that's how demons elevate their strength. We as humans in the show train, and they just go, the more humans we eat, the stronger we become. And so the main villain Enmu tells them that he's like, well, I'll just eat all. There's like 200 passengers, and he's like, I'll eat all of them, and then I'll become more powerful, and you can't kill me. And so then basically everyone has to split off into teams, and kind of like half of them protect, and the other half are go on the offensive and try and figure out how to kill him. Which they eventually do, because it's an anime and they got to do that kind of thing.
And they have what was the fire guy's name again? Sengoku or
Rengoku.
Yeah,
Rengoku. Rengoku is covering 5 carts of five train carts by himself. And
Zenitsu.
Zenitsu, thank you. Zenitsu, who never wakes up. He doesn't wake up after, but because his thing is all about
His powers awaken when he's
fight. Yeah. So he never wakes up from the spell, but is still. We see him doing his first position and just taking shit down. I think he takes 2 train carts.
Yeah, so him and Nezuko have the last 2, and then Tanjiro and Inosuke go after the main body. And then obviously through the power of teamwork and anime, they're able to take it down. And then the train gets knocked off the tracks. They're all trying to recover, and then a big bad shows up, which is the number 3 ranked demon, who challenges what was it, Renosuke? No.
Rengoku.
Rengoku.
Sorry, I'm sorry.
Goku.
Yeah, I know.
Plus Ren.
Okay. Yeah, so they confront him. They have a big old fight. The biggest weakness that humans have is that they get tired. As long as demons are at the nighttime, they don't really suffer from fatigue.
Yeah.
And so he eventually overpowers him. He dies.
Yeah.
If everyone died like that in anime, like it was pretty like epic.
Yeah. So the biggest plot twist, like Daniel brought up, Rengoku, strong as fuck, and they go all out.
Yeah.
But he is still not enough to defeat this demon, even though he's got skills that are above and beyond. But he's still not able to beat top 3. It gets to a point where the demons got him landed a fatal blow. He gets his arm through the stomach, but right now it becomes a run off the clock situation because the sun's coming up.
Yeah. So demons are a lot like vampires in this series. A lot like that. They have to feed off the humans, and if the way to kill one is you either have to cut its head off with one of the samurai swords that the demon slayers use, and it has to be those swords specifically. They're blessed a certain way, and like that's the only things that will work.
Yeah, they're from the mountain that they harvest them for the ore from. I believe it's the closest to the sun, and the special metal absorbs the sun's rays. So when they kill a demon with it, it is like the sun like slashes them. Yeah. So that's where that's what that
is. That's anime shit right
there.
Yeah,
that's what anime is. Fuck, dude. Shout out to the sword guy. He's my favorite in Demon Slayer.
Oh, the guy who makes them.
Yeah, I love that guy. So Rengoku is there. He's trying to hold them, but the upper 3 demon, his whole thing is he uses air, like he'll punch, and his punches will travel through the air, and he'll make contact with you from long distance, pretty much. And it's an amazing fight. The animation was beautiful. It was 10 out of 10. It was quick but long. If you understand what I mean, Daniel Raul. Like the fight was quick, but it felt so long in the moment. Because I believe, at that point, everyone's cheering for Rengoku. Because you can tell he's on the ropes, but he's coming. Like he's bringing the heat. There gets to a point where he goes and he does like his ultimate tiger technique.
Oh yeah,
it's just beautiful scenery of fire, flames, and makes a tiger and this lunging attack. Just amazing. But unfortunately, not able to hold him. The demon gets away.
And then he dies. Kind of showing. And that was a good example for the character. It was kind of the typical anime death in the sense that it was to show the main characters that they're not where they're supposed to be yet, in terms of strength and power and stuff like that. And this is like the fire of like, okay, now we need to be kind of like when Sasuke got away and Naruto's like, oh, I gotta go chill with Jiraiya. All Black Clover with Asta knowing that he can't do magic, so he's got to figure out how to sword fight.
Yeah, exactly. It definitely was a big eye opening because to this point, we saw, I believe, I don't remember the ranking of the spider demon that
He
they
was the
fought.
bottom 6. He was
Bottom
like 5 or
six?
6. He was like 11 or 12 out of 12.
And even him, he had it was a rough time for Tanjiro and all of them. So just to see the upper third was crazy. And then knowing that there's going to be 2 more above him.
And then the
And
boss.
then the big boss himself is just, it's crazy to think. And it was a good, like Daniel said, very good to show this is the point they need to get to and beyond that.
Yeah.
So, yes, Rengoku dies. Very sad, very emotional. There's a scene. I'm not gonna. So he dies, and his death, it got me. I started bawling in the theater. It was a rough one. I fucking flipped my popcorn bucket. I was so mad.
Even our friend Emmett, he's not much of an anime fan. He usually will tag along with me to do stuff like this. But yeah, so they're fighting, and then I think it's when he gets away, and I hear him go like, "Oh, God damn it, really?" And I was like, because I could hear him, like I could tell he had been holding his breath.
Yeah.
So that was cool that like you guys are even like that. It was people got into it. So that's the synopsis. Do we want to talk about how we felt about like overall what letter grade we individually would give it, or do you want guys?
I think it's very good.
Hear other people's criticisms first.
Yeah. I think we should. Oh, and then also at the end of the movie, just so if for anybody who's watching this wants to and is not going to watch the movie, the next step. Okay, they're still going to be going to Mugen, but along the way they're going to go to. We find out that Rengoku has a father, and his father has transcripts to talk about the fire's breathing style. So that's where Tanjiro and them are going to go next. Yeah, or the flame breathing, to find out if there are any notes on
Hirokami Kagura. Yeah,
exactly.
Which is the fire dragon that he summoned. Because usually you can only master one element.
Yeah.
For him to be able to, because he switches from Tanjiro's skilled in water, but to learn water and fire is very unique. Not many people have multiple like arts like that, or they call them sword skills.
Yeah, sword skills. I think if I remember correctly, Rengoku even makes a note that Rengoku, my apologies. Rengoku makes a note that he's seen only very few have ever done dual art styles, and never anybody with a black sword.
Yeah.
But overall, so that's where the movie ends, and that's the next journey, or that's the next destination in the journey.
That's the next art we get to have.
Yeah. So overall, my rating for this is I'm gonna give this one a out of 10.
Out of 10.
Or are we gonna make a letter? Out of 10.
No, we'll do a letter grade. Let's just do a
letter grade. If Daniel, you want to go ahead?
Oh, I'm going first?
Yeah, you go for it.
Okay. For me, I mean, obviously it's a UFO table. If you guys don't know who UFO table is, if you've seen Fate Stay Night, the Unlimited Blade Works, Fate Zero, they're the production company that animates those. So the animation is beautiful. It's honestly one of the prettiest like anime out there right now. Story was a little simple, but I mean, honestly, most anime, even the My Hero movies, it's kind of simple. I give it like a strong B+, A-.
So what you say out of 10? Is it 8?
Like are we allowing decimals? Yeah, we'll go 8 point, like an 8.9, 8.99. That's what I'm
Damn, you're not gonna ask the teacher to bump you up that 1%.
I'll give it A. I'll give it A-. A-,
right.
9, A-.
Yeah, I also would think like that's where I probably would put it as well. Like solid. I think it's a solid A. I don't think, like, honestly, I'm really surprised a lot of people have a lot of shit. I thought this movie was just going to be like one of those ones where raving reviews, everyone's just going to be, because the hype about season 1 Demon Slayer was so much. If I had to give this a rating, solid A. solid A, definitely. Like 95. My critiques, and I think that's what we're probably gonna get into. I wish we would have got to see more of the characters, but there's only so much you can do in a movie.
Yeah.
And, to keep it as, and it's not like it's not a Marvel movie, we're not going to be there for 4 hours.
Yeah.
So, which would have been cool, but, it's just not what's going to happen. But to get me excited for the season 2, A material, would definitely watch it again. Easy.
Okay.
I think also having the ability to attract non-anime viewers, we took Emmett, and even not being an anime fan, he still enjoyed the movie.
Yeah.
That says something just about production itself. So I also think 9 out of 10. Would watch again.
Yeah.
I kind of need to. So.
Oh, okay. So are we gonna get into that now? Because I got some beef with you, Ro.
Yeah, no, I know. I being with Gunner, I made a sentence that I never thought I would say, which is, Gunner, you're scaring the children. For those who for context, dear Raul fell asleep when they actually defeated the first boss and missed the entire final fight scene.
The important parts.
The important parts, yes, and basically woke up as Rengoku died.
I saw him do his fire.
Oh, his
summoning.
Okay,
So I saw the big ending, the big, yay, it's over. But I didn't see the power struggle between the demon and the Rengoku.
And mind you, this is a long fight.
Yeah, it's a really long fight.
It's a cut. It's a minute.
Did you actually watch it to catch and see the fight?
I did. I found it on YouTube. It was good.
Yeah.
Even I wish I had watched it, on the big screen. It was really beautiful.
Yeah.
And mind you, in the theaters, we're all quiet because this is the most important part of the movie. So everyone's like dead silence and like full attention.
Focused.
So no one noticed. I just think Raul's sitting right next to me. I just thought he was laser focused too.
Nope.
And then the movie ends and then he tells me he falls asleep and I was just
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Listen, I'm disappointed in myself as well. Lesson learned, we're chugging Red Bulls right before we go in.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, find out Raul gets comfortable in those leather seats.
Yeah. Hey, they were pretty nice.
It was nice and cool. It was like 60 degrees in there.
It was nice. No lie.
Imagine an empty movie theater, because usually it's hot because there's so many people, but it was empty, so it was perfect.
Yeah, it was
perfect. I agree.
Yeah. Then would have liked to say for another.
So I want to talk about where.
Let me hear it. I want to hear what these complaints are.
Okay, so I found one of them.
They sound very severe.
People comment so quickly, like I'm like digging. It's literally like it's fast, right? Twitter pops off, right? Or I'm on Facebook right now, but so this is what someone's critique was. Just watched the Demon Slayer movie, but a bit disappointed, to be honest, as I really think they could have put those 2 hours into 3 episodes instead, and then had a proper feature-length film with more detail, action, and a bigger fight scene, etc. Someone was like, please elaborate. How was it not good? And he says, not saying it wasn't good. I'm just saying that they could have used those 2 hours for a proper feature-length film instead of something that could have taken 3 episodes. Do not want to get into too much details because of spoilers. And yeah, so that's the first one I have found. How do we feel about the statement?
Okay. I get it because I was a little disappointed when I first heard that the Demon Slayer was going to be first a movie.
Yeah.
But overall, I think that's just like, okay, it's like, because the other issue is that now you're going to be going into the realm of, do we want there to be, when like we're talking about like an OVA movie, it's probably going to be nothing based on the actual world. It could be, or it might be something that's worked really closely with the writer.
Yeah.
But more than likely, it's probably going to be kind of like a Naruto movie, where they...
It's some weird shit. Yeah, he goes back in time or...
Yeah, and it's like his Rasengan, or his, he gets rainbow lightning or whatever,
Yeah.
So like, I felt like, it could be good, but I feel like there would have been more risk, you know what I mean? It could have flopped. And I think, given given what we got, I kind of think that this dude's kind of just a little. I think he's still a little butthurt because I think he just wants the Demon Slayer like season 2 out now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I think it was. I get his point. I was thinking to myself too. The movie, like, how many episodes would that encompass if it was just like a normal season? But I think it was just a really smart marketing move. I mean, you have the biggest hype anime in the last year.
Yeah.
And to bring in some extra money, you say, we're going to make a movie that's canon. You're going to require all your fans to watch this movie to understand season 2. It's a really big brain, to be honest.
No, it was great. I mean, hey, was second highest grossing anime movie.
It overtook Your Name as the highest.
So now it's number 1.
Yeah.
That's amazing, dude. And but I mean, like, that's I think that's an amazing title to have, and I mean, I think it was good. Like, yeah, you could hope for more, but like I said, like it could flop. I mean, like anytime, like, and we could have just had where it's like, okay, everyone's just a big fight scene, and then but like what I liked about this is it had to do with the plot. What happens in this movie directly affects what happens in the whole series as a whole. Whereas a lot of times when they do movies and shit, the movie thing is separate.
Yeah.
And whatever happens in the movie does not happen. Like, it never gets brought up again in the TV, anime itself. So I think overall, whack complaint. And because the other thing is, okay, you want this to be a whole arc? There's no way this is going to be a 3-episode arc. Yeah, this would be what, 6 or 7? It would have been
3 episodes, and everyone would have been mad that it's 3 episodes.
Yeah, no, I don't even think they could condense that to 3 episodes. I think it would be like more like 5, and there'd be a little more in depth. We would have got a little more like of the kids that got sent into the dreams. We got a little bit more story arc around them. You know what I mean?
I definitely think the anime or the movie suffer from an explaining everything kind of thing, but that's just how anime works in general. But I do feel like it was nice in the sense of, like, for example, our friend Emmett, who doesn't watch anime, he kind of picked up on the plot of the rest of the show because they explained everything in such detail. I definitely think they could have cut some of that stuff out, but I like more action, like bigger action scenes, like I think. Yeah, demons like when they summon their weapons and stuff like that, like it's like watching like a painting come to life. It's like it's amazing the fact that we're able to, the energy from that fight scene, and this is gonna maybe sound like high level controversial shit, but it for me carried the same weight, not the same weight, but like it had the same energy as like when All Might and One for All fought for the last time. And like because you have like Midoriya and like everyone's looking and seeing, like,
watching.
Yeah, this is the level that we have to be at, and going like, oh shit.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So when he says the fight scenes could have been more, that's I think. Yeah, I think now you're just trying to, like, now you're being a little extra, because like honestly, Demon Slayer in general is such a one of the most beautifully like done animes. Like, the art style is awesome. I love it, and they definitely did not skip out like on those fight scenes.
It was, and I think I told you guys, I read the manga version of it, and I was like, this is what the movie's gonna be. I'm like, I am not looking forward to this, because I was like, it was just kind of, it literally is like, I read in 30 minutes.
It was quick.
I'm like, how are they gonna turn this into a 2-hour movie? And I was like, wow. Like, just to see it come out, like, I think that's the thing with Fire Force too. Like, you read it and you're like, cool, but when you watch them use their flame powers, and you're like, okay, this is like fucking cool. It gives more life to these things, especially fire. Fire is a hard thing to illustrate, I feel like, in like pictures. Yeah. So when you see it in color and everything, that really gives it that. Yeah. No, I get you. I'm 100% with you. I agree. So where do we? Okay, so if you were to, like, do you agree, disagree, or somewhat, or in the middle with this person's post?
This is a hard disagree.
Okay.
I think also. Yeah. I see where he was coming from, but I also disagree. I don't think it's enough for an arc in the show. they turned something that would have been 2 to 5 episodes into something amazing.
Yeah. This dude's whack.
Because it's also in one night. It's like this happened in a couple hours. I don't see how that's gonna be like a lengthy portion of the show.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I have another person who said that they didn't enjoy it, but they also had someone had posted spoilers about the ending.
So he was just mad. He just
Oh yeah, but that's not the spoiler person's fault.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of people were like, it just felt like it could have been the show instead of the. But that's the thing though. Like if you think about that, that would have been a season, right?
Yeah,
2 hours. Okay, 20 minutes. Let's say it was like 24 minutes an episode, right? You get
5 minutes of intro, outro.
Yeah. So 16 minutes really. So 16 minutes in the 120 hours. That's at least 6-7 episodes.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm saying. That's a whole big. That would be what? How many episodes was season 1? 20? So that's well over a quarter of a whole season 2. Yeah. Would be just the Demon Train. You know how more that would be more disappointing. I would be more upset.
Yeah.
Because like we would just be like, it's a train, like, you know. So I think it's good. You know, it was a one movie. You sat down, you're beginning to end. You know, it was all good, and now we get to go on to the more better stuff, you know.
Yeah, and if you guys haven't seen the My Hero movies, but I watched one of them, and they don't like tie in directly to the story. Mm-hmm. They're like side plots that happen, right?
Yeah, I watched the first one, and
so you still haven't seen the Two Heroes one?
You know, right now it's finals week and shit. We're trying to. Yeah, I'm trying to write essays. Yeah, and then but we're hopefully like I mentioned before the podcast. When summer hits, 2 weeks from now. Sheesh, we're gonna be we'll be ramping up the anime, you know what I mean?
Okay. He'll actually be caught up for once.
Yeah.
Hey,
actually,
exactly.
That's not true because he only watches dub.
Yeah.
Listen, what do you want from me? What do you want from me, Raul?
I will give him. We did go see this movie subbed.
Yeah, congratulations. You get a star.
Yeah.
I should have put your ass in the dubbed movie theater, and you could have
been so mad. I would have fell asleep.
Yeah,
the whole thing. I'll be like, this movie's ass.
Yeah, he would have been agreeing with Homeboy on the post.
That's probably what he fucked up. He probably watched it in English.
Yeah, there are certain anime. I agree. I'm in the middle. I've always been in the middle. I like how it always turns into a sub and dub argument, but
always does.
I don't know. It's just interesting that a lot of people go, I got bored, and the beginning I get.
The beginning, yeah, the train, the dream world. Little slow.
Yeah, but that was like, was it boring? I thought it was more like, you know, it's like emotional and shit. Like,
well, no, more the like him explaining, like, oh, like the whole when he's like, oh, he put his blood in the ink, and then he clipped the ticket, and that puts us to sleep, and that's like that was like a 5-minute conversation, and I'm like, that's right. I feel like we could have all kind of figured out, oh, when he clipped it, that was what caused it. So they didn't have to explain that, or like when he's like, I have to cover this train and that train, and he gets that train, and then you get that train, like. Okay, just explain it once. We're good. But but Tanjiro's like explain, like breaking down every step of it, and I'm like, dude, like,
yeah.
And I get it, and that's what I do like about Demon Slayer is they are constantly at a disadvantage.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like Dragon Ball Z, right, where Goku's like, okay, like there's a fighting chance, and then like, oh, you find out they have another, like literally, like they go say fight, and they're already supposed to lose, like if you come out of a fight in the Demon Slayer world, okay, like you're like you're OP.
Yeah, because exactly. And, excuse me. Like it touches at the end of the movie. The fights are never fair. It's never fair when you're fighting demons.
Yeah.
You know, and I agree. I mean, like, but overall, like that comment, like that part, those boring parts, like how long of that was that really that boring? Like 2 minutes.
Yeah.
5, you said. So what? Max, we're looking at 10 minutes overall was just boring filler to explain. Like we've had, there's a lot of anime like series that they spend whole seasons, episodes trying explaining.
I love Naruto, but fuck, dude, so much.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, like if you like JoJo's, you can't complain about things be like dialogue.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and I love JoJo's.
Yeah, 90% of JoJo's
they talk a shit ton in JoJo's. Yeah, what I was thinking, Psychopath season 2. I don't know if you guys have seen that.
Yeah, that was rough.
I haven't seen
Yeah, yeah, it's rough, dude. It all it is like, because like already by that point, like the concept already like it makes sense, but the route they take with the concept behind Psychopaths goes off the wall, and so I feel like the whole second half of the season was just them trying to explain so that way everyone understands what the whole system even was, you know.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, no, that's always yeah. I feel I love anime, but it gets super self-explanatory over and over and over again.
yeah.
I'm like, no, man, just like listen. I know Goku throws the commandment. You don't have to explain to me how it works.
Mhm.
I'm on episode 1,000. Like, there's no. It's like if like in One Piece, right? Like Luffy's throwing a punch and they explain like the history of the Gum Gum fruit, like on during the Wano arc, and you're like, okay, like I'm in at this point, dude. You don't have to tell me.
We know Goofy's Rubber Man. Like, they're like, do you know Usopp uses a slingshot? Wild,
Yeah.
right?
Like, fuck yeah, I know. God damn it. So how do you guys feel? Because you guys have watched, obviously, by watching this movie, you've seen the anime at least. So how do you guys feel about the anime? Do you feel like it? I feel like we'll kind of end the episode on this conversation of how do we feel about the anime in and of itself, because it ironically is one of the more controversial animes, despite being one of the safest. When I say safest, I mean in terms of there's nothing really crazy about it. Like if we can get in the conversations about Redo of a Healer, that one, the most recent reincarnation or isekai anime, that one had got a little bit of stuff.
Oh, reincarnated, middle class man or middle aged man reincarnated.
But yeah, that one got some flack. Like, but in terms of like shonen anime, it sticks to the formula pretty well, and like it's interesting that so many people dislike it. So how do you guys feel about the anime in of itself as a whole, while having watched it top to bottom?
Raul, you wanna start it?
I damn. I actually really like Demon Slayer for a couple of reasons. Animation's amazing. I like the story of like their kind of world, the setup for the world, the demons and the they're having the head honcho, and then his quest to find to turn his sister back into a human. It's good setup, and it's like he said earlier, it's safe. You can throw it on, and there's no like fan service. There's no anything that's just kind of wild, because some animes have a lot of
they like to take a darker route, and it can be so it can be
so it's nice to have something that's clean, enjoyable, and just really good. So I don't really understand why a lot of people are hating on it. It mimics Japanese culture very well with the samurai culture, their art style, the masks, and all that. So I'm a big fan of it.
Yeah. What's the biggest complaint about the anime? That it's too just not enough, doesn't do a lot, Daniel? Or what does everyone say that why they hate Demon Slayer?
A lot of it's the genericness of it.
Yeah, I mean, like, okay, like if we're like, obviously they're right around that.
Just being called basic.
Yeah. Because I mean, like, okay, how many times have we had? It's like, okay, samurai fights dark forces. Like, yeah, okay, like it's a common story, but like you said, it's classic. It's good. They do some, and what I really love is the art style is beautiful. They don't like, you know what I mean? Like, this is like obviously the animation studio behind this, they really care about the show. You can tell in the work, it's beautiful work. It doesn't like from what I've seen, there's no skips. They don't take any shortcuts. Like every episode is amazingly done. So what if the concept isn't revolutionary? I mean, and there are animes that can do both, but that doesn't say they have to do both. Not every anime is going to be the next game changer.
And that's what people like about it, is it's the wheel, right? We all like the protagonist. Obviously, in this case, it tends to be boys, which I think should change. Which is why Kill la Kill was really cool. But yeah, it's we know what it is. There's no surprises. it's fun, and I think one of the big issues with shonen is that constantly it's always about a main character who's like a good person, quote unquote. But I feel like what's really nice about Tanjiro as a character is that he really is like a good person. You know what I mean, he's like a genuinely nice person who like, and I think in the anime they do that, right? One of the guys, one of the demons they fight in the season, it's when he kidnaps the girls, and he's like the puddle, and he pulls them into that like puddle world, and like and that guy's like, how could you not save her? Like, you don't understand my pain. Like, I just lost my fiance. How dare you like tell me to be okay? And like he came home to his family, right? And I think that was what was really cool about Demon Slayer, is it shows the dynamic that he had with his family, because I'm like, oh fuck, like I'm an older sibling, and that's what I love so much about Demon Slayer, is like, as an older sibling, like having to protect your younger sibling from things and like things like that, and like for him to go like, no, I know it, I've lost people and I don't want people to feel that way. Like, that's a very different feeling for me than just like Goku, right? He's like, I just want to fight. I just want to fight some people. Like, let's throw hands real fast. I'll let you live. Right? Naruto wants to prove to people that like I can be this, and like, yeah, he does the talking shit and like teaches Gaara that you can move, but like, I don't know,
the emotion is there, and it touches on deeper meanings a lot easier, because like with Naruto and Dragon Ball Z, how do they get those deeper emotions and feelings? They kill an important character, right? Whereas Demon Slayer, obviously, we've seen the death
kind of expendable in Demon Slayer.
Yeah, exactly. And like, I feel like the other thing is everyone, and I feel also just anime in general has gotten to the point where when we see a main character's backstory, it's very much understandable. You get to see, why they are struggling, and their reason for struggling is like something that's, valid, and, really something that can resonate in us. We look at all, Inosuke, Tanjiro, Nezuko,
Zenitsu,
and Zenitsu, they all, that we all relate to them. I think when I compare to, the first thing that comes to mind is like My Hero. Like the My Hero characters, their backstories and stuff, it makes sense in the world of heroes, and they're, like you can kind of relate. But I feel like Demon Slayer, like they do a really good job. Like I would say even better than My Hero, Mm-hmm. So like you said, you really get drawn in, and I'm also I'm the oldest in my family. So, watching Tanjiro's journey, especially, being the older sibling and bearing that responsibility of, if I was there, would things have been different? Could I have saved them? And it's a good one, and I think it's amazing. I like you said, this isn't an anime it's not here to change shit up, but going off of, what it is, concepts that people love. The art style is beautiful. The stories, it's fluid. It makes sense, and it makes me want to keep watching. I like it, and I think it deserves the hype, and I'm excited to see where season 2 goes.
And it's a great gateway to the anime world. So why?
Yeah.
I mean,
there's been a lot of people.
The next level shit, but it's still good for people who want to kind of adventure into the realm.
And for me, and like what you said, like it's like My Hero, right? Or like Dragon Ball Z is kind of boring because it is a lot of monologue. It's a lot of monologuing. Mm-hmm. But like My Hero, like, and it's easy to root for these characters because you're like you root for Naruto because he's had trauma, and you're like, oh my god, like. But even then, like the whole like why he cares so much about Sasuke, that's a really poorly kind of explained thing, at least in the anime. Like they're just like, hey, we're buddies. But with Tanjiro, like you have that bond of like, well, that's my sister.
Yeah.
Right? You can't. That's my little sister. That's right. Everyone who's an older sibling has had their parents that you have to watch. If we're gone, you have to watch out for your younger sibling.
Yeah.
And you're like,
I agree with you 100%. It makes sense. It's good. And there's honestly, like Raul said, our friend Emmett, we went to the movie theater, and he was able to understand what's going on in Demon Slayer, and he's not the biggest anime fan, but he's able to watch, understand, and enjoy it. So, and as a gateway, and we talked about this in the past episode with gatekeeping. Anime's for everybody. It doesn't matter who you are. It's just it's good. It's just like any like media or any kind of like thing like a book or any it should be for everybody, because you want what you experience out of that, you want others to experience those same things too. That's the awesome thing about it. That's why we can that's why people cosplay and we go to conventions and shit like that, to meet others that have had those same
right. It makes people go like, oh, this world is cool. There are things that like especially with a lot of the stuff that anime deals with in terms of like how women are portrayed, how women are treated, how like to show like that Nezuko is a powerful woman and also a demon. Like a lot of the villains in this are also women. And women are demons too. And a lot of them aren't designed sexually. It's like there's that one girl who was designed with she shoot the balls.
She's got the arms too.
She's not drawn to be sexy. She's like, no, I traded. But usually, like, what's kind of implied is as like vampires, if you become a demon, you're kind of implied to have sold your soul. To gain more power. So to know that, hey, like she was like, oh, fuck that shit. I want to be powerful too. I'm tired of being hungry or whatever it is, and like that makes good character arcs as well.
No, definitely. I definitely agree. If I had to wrap it up, if for anybody who's made it this far in and hasn't seen the movie and still wants to go see it or is on the fence about go seeing it still after this, my advice would be go watch it. It's good. You'll enjoy it. You'll have a good time. But so I think that Raul, Daniel, you got any last comments?
Demon Slayer's dope. You get the experience you want to have out of it. Just like anything. And that's the biggest thing I feel like for us at the Gaifus for Laifus podcast is like, we want you to take the biggest thing out of it. We're not breaking things down because we're trying to be like the gatekeepers. So like, nah, like you gotta tell me who Goku is. Like, no, man, like you go in there, watch that shit, regardless of how you feel. If you like it, dope. If you don't, hey, the beauty about anime, just like books, just like movies, there's something for everybody.
Yeah, exactly. And we can all have a difference in opinion. There's no right opinion, right? Our opinion's not right. Twitter opinion's not right. Everyone can take what they want out of it, and people are going to experience things differently. But that was our take on Demon Slayer Mugen Train. Thank you for listening. We appreciate it. And I think that's going to wrap it up today. We are trying, for those viewers that stuck around, we're trying a new format, cutting down the episode length to kind of keep it a little more engaging. So if you've listened this far, let us know. Leave a comment at gaifusforlaifus@gmail.com. Send us an email. You could hit us up on Facebook or Instagram at gaifusforlaifus. And tell us, do you like this format? Do you want us to keep doing this? Do you want it shorter? Do you want it longer? Back to the 2 hours. But we're going to be trying some new stuff out, see what works for everybody on the Gaifus team, and what's going to work for our viewers out there. So, but thanks for listening. Do we know what we're going to talk about next week?
Your face-off.
Oh, yeah. So for those of you who don't know, me and Gunnar have been looking on Instagram. Have been doing a Warhammer. I only have one model for my army, but that thing is expensive. So
yeah, I'm on my third set right now for doing orcs. Daniel switched over from Space Wolves to the Tau Empire.
Greater good, baby.
Exactly,
but so I switched over, and so it's been a process. But we wanted to do every week we're gonna do like a lore quiz show thing, and we were supposed to do it today, but Chris couldn't be here. He was supposed to be our game master or our question master, and he failed in that capacity today. So I guess next week we want to give you some more time to study, because I'm
that sounds good. Exactly, because honestly, for anybody out there that knows what Warhammer is or has ever looked into the lore, there's a lot.
There's a lot of lore for each army, by the way.
Yeah, there it is. This is a semester-long project. This isn't like I can do this over the weekend kind of thing. So, but I'm excited to see, I've really fallen in love. Warhammer. For anybody who's a fan of Dungeons and Dragons, this is very much a turn into the sci-fi world, and very much a dark sci-fi world with that. So it's a lot of fun. I'm enjoying it. So we'll see how we do next week. And also with that, there will be punishments for the loser of the quiz show. And speaking of punishments, next week Chris is going to present a PowerPoint of his top 10 anime hookups.
Yeah, stop thinking anime characters that he would have sex with. We here at Gaifus for Laifus do not care what gender they are. So honestly, I think he might have a couple dudes in there. That's fine. I think what would it be? I want to make it okay. Well, Gunner knows Chris a little bit better than Raul does. So this is more of a question to Gunner. Do you want to do a prediction of who is going to be on this list? Because I can see 3. Already.
Okay, yeah. All Might, yeah.
Oh, I definitely wasn't gonna be All Might. I was gonna say the girl from Kill la Kill, the band girl. No, Shaka.
Oh yeah, I
she's
see
gonna be
that.
on
Nami from One Piece.
Nah, Nami. There's a guy anime character that he says is hot, and he's talked about it to me. Oh well, I honestly, let me see.
Listen, but all I know is, I'm excited to see his list, see what he's got, and I also, for anybody listening, we will be uploading the slides or the images. We'll upload that on the Instas and the Facebook, so that way everyone after the episode can kind of see and get to look at the visuals. But overall, we're excited for that. And we will see what next week has to bring. And we'll also see, we'll have a better idea. I also want to talk about spring animes that are coming out. There's been a lot. I talked to Raul a little bit about it, and this spring has been fire. There's been a lot of great great animes that come out. A lot of great recommendations that I've gotten that I would like to give out to you guys. So we can talk a little bit more about that next week. But it's looking like this summer is going to be a good time.
Yeah. It should be good.
Exactly. Well, Raul, do you have anything else you want to say?
Watch Invincible.
Yes.
Oh yeah, do you want to plug it right now? Well, because I've read the comic book, so I really like the comic. If you don't know so Invincible, really fast, I'll let Raul explain the plot, but I'll give a little premise to it. So the guy who wrote Invincible is the one who wrote The Walking Dead. So if that doesn't make you go, okay, this guy has like chops when it comes to writing comics, like this is the example. So yeah, he came in with 2 hits, and so Raul, take it away.
Damn, you can explain it. I'm sorry.
Oh, what, did you lose your energy or what happened?
Bro, my throat, man. It's
This show is so good. Raul can't talk no more.
Yeah.
He's got him.
I was yelling the whole time. I'm losing my voice.
So essentially, Invincible is about this boy whose name is Mark, who has a dad who is known as Omni-Man, and Omni-Man is supposed to be like representative of Superman. And he finds out that his dad is an alien, and that he soon develops powers himself. And it's basically like, imagine if like Superman was developing his powers while also like navigating life, right? Because a lot of the Superman, no one ever really talks about Superman growing up and learning his powers. It's more like, oh, well, he's young, but he's aware that he's Superman. So this is like a kid learning, like it's like a mixture of like My Hero and like Justice League. So like they have this version of it, and then like there's evil aliens and plots, and it just centers around this kid who is trying to navigate life while also navigating being the son of like the world's greatest hero, basically.
While dealing with normal 17 issues.
The art style looks amazing. We'll be watching it, and maybe we can get a little more depth into it next week and talk about what we think of it. Season 1's out already, correct, Raul? Daniel?
Yeah, it's over.
8 episodes, I think, an hour long. It's a great voice cast too. Steven Yeun of Walking Dead fame. He was Glenn. is the voice of the main character. His dad is played by J.K. Simmons, who, as we know, is J. Jonah Jameson from the Spider-Man series,
Yep.
and the Yellow M&M. Sandra Oh plays his mom because he's actually half Asian. Yeah, so get that representation out there for the Asians.
That's good. Yeah,
and she's voiced by Sandra Oh, who was Christina Yang in Grey's Anatomy.
Oh, that's cool. I didn't know.
Yeah. Raul, did you ever watch The League?
What's that? No, I don't think so.
Oh, so that show about fantasy football?
No, I've never.
Have you seen Brooklyn Nine-Nine?
Yes.
What's his name? The guy who falls in love with the Mexican girl. He has the curly hair. He was undercover.
Oh, yeah. What's his name? What's his name? Raphael in that one?
No, Rafi was from The League.
Yeah. But what's the actor's name?
But yeah, so that is the voice of Rex Explosion. He's he's Jay in Big Mouth.
Yeah, Jay in Big Mouth. Yeah.
So that's Rex Explosion, who's a character and also is a rival love interest for Invincibles.
Is it Jason
Mantzoukas?
Mantzoukas, yeah.
Yeah, so
that is a mouthful of a last name. So but yeah, he's love him in The League, dude. He's so fucking funny.
Who else is in it? There's a lot of like high level voice acting. Mark Hamill's supposed to be in it, who is Luke Skywalker and the Joker.
Who does Mark Hamill play?
I don't know. I honestly don't know. Maybe I'll listen along and see. Maybe he plays like a random villain or something. But
Gotcha.
Yeah, so it is also supposed to be an intense take of it. So like when they fight, right? Superman never bleeds. Nah, these people.
There's a lot of blood.
These people are not gonna. It's basically like if you ever wanted to see Superman in an MMA fight where people bleed, like that's what it looks like. Like it's a slugfest. And so yeah, so this is kind of this own creation of this world. It's really cool. I really like the comics. Dealt with some interesting issues, some like not controversial, but some intense issues at one point.
So overall, go watch it.
Yes,
is what I'm being told. Got it. Well, I'll add that to my list along with quintessential quintuplets. Get that shit busted out, and we can have maybe more to say about that next week. But other than that, thank you everybody for listening to this episode. And yeah, again, like I plugged in this stuff before. Check us out. Leave us a comment. We love to hear it. I know we're getting a lot more comments and a lot more engagement on the Instagram, which is really nice to see. Also, be on the lookout. We are going to start doing pretty soon here. We're going to start doing raffles and giveaways. Small stuff. Right now, the phase, everyone's loving Pokemon cards. So as we posted on the Instagram, the Gaifus are also participating in that, and we've got some good picks, some good pulls, and I think we want to give them out to that audience and really share the wealth.
Half of it's gonna go to Raul's family. Raul's mom's gonna get one and be like, I don't know the fuck I'm doing with this shit.
Gonna get that shiny Charizard.
As long as it's the Galarian Ponyta, she'll keep it.
That's fair.
But keep an eye out for that. We'll have some more once we figure out the logistics on how that works. But that is coming soon. But thank you for listening, everybody out there. Thank you, Daniel. Thank you, Ralph, for joining me. And other than that, we're gonna leave it at that, and we will see you next week.
Everybody have a good week. Continue to stay healthy. I know summer's coming. The hope is on the horizon, no matter where you're at. So
get ready for Mother's Day if this comes out in time.
Oh yeah, next week.
Happy Mother's Day to all of our moms.
Happy Mother's Day. Thank you, Mom.
So
appreciate it. Shout out to moms. Yeah. Shout out to Deku's mom.
Yeah,
the best anime. No, I have an argument who best anime mom is, but we're not ready to have it because you guys won't watch Yu Yu Hakusho. So,
I've seen Yu Yu Hakusho, but I need to rewatch it.
Let's do it. I'm down to watch it together. Okay. Also, so Yu Yu Hakusho and Hunter x Hunter were written by the same person, and I believe Yu Yu Hakusho is the better anime. So,
that's a hot take.
Yeah, so I want you guys to watch it. We're gonna have a conversation because I genuinely believe top to bottom, it's one of the best written anime out there, better than Hunter x Hunter. I said it. I stand by it. Better characters too. So
Ooh, well, you know what? We'll have to say that for another episode, but we will definitely talk about that and much more.
Yep.
And alrighty, thank you so much, Raul. Appreciate you coming out here, and hopefully next week we'll hear from Chris himself and go from there. But thank you. You have a good one, and everyone stay safe and stay happy and watch that anime.
Yep. Agreed.
Alrighty, catch you later.
Bye, everybody.